Seit nunmehr als 2 Jahren bereichert Austra die Independent-Musikszene. Mit ihrem unverwechselbaren Sound aus 80s Mashup, trashigen Drumbeats und natürlich der auffälligen Stimme hat sich die Band in die Herzen ihrer Fans und Kritiker gesungen. Die Kanadier sind aber vor allem überrascht über den großen Erfolg in Europa.
Yeah, it's different everywhere. I think that we definitely have a little bit more popularity in Europe than we do in the States. We play smaller shows in the States, and we just did a big tour in America of like probably 500 or less people in most cities. Then we come to Europe, and it's a little like it sometimes feels a bit overwhelming.
Mit ihrem ersten Album Feel It Back hat sich die dreiköpfige Band direkt einen Namen gemacht und sich sofort in die Liste von namhaften Künstlern wie Kate Bush, Viva Ray und Solar Jesus eingereiht. Im Juli veröffentlichten sie ihr zweites Studioalbum Olympia, das nach dem neugeborenen Kind des Produzenten benannt wurde. Uns verriet die Frontsängerin Katie, was den speziellen Sound des neuen Werkes ausmacht.
I guess I would describe the sound of Olympia as I think it's lighter than the other record. So I would say light, and it's very analog sounding. Well, it's a totally different experience. I mean, the at-home recording was something that I mostly did by myself, and just using like MIDI instruments, just using soft synths, whatever was available to me, like at my fingertips. And this was a much more involved process with making Olympia, because it was not only were you working with your bandmates, but you were working with like an engineer and sometimes a producer, and there was just all these other people in the mix, like putting ideas in, and it felt like a much different way to work.
Nach 2 Alben kann man ruhig auch schon mal ein Fazit ziehen. Wir wollten wissen, was denn der genaue Unterschied zwischen den beiden Studiowerken ist.
I think so, personally. I think it's very recognizable. Just like the sound quality of this album versus the last album is so different because of how we recorded it. I like both. It's different. Like, I think there's things I wanted to change about Feel It Break, and that's what we did when we made Olympia. And then when Olympia was finished, I re-listened to Feel It Break, and I was like, actually, I like this record. So, they both represent like a time and a place, I think.
Nicht nur musikalisch, sondern auch inhaltlich lohnt es sich bei Austra reinzuhören. Uns fiel der Song Painful Like auf. Doch wie ist dieser Song entstanden?
Painful Like, the lyrics were written by Sarah, who used to sing backup in our band. And she wrote the lyrics essentially about being gay in a small town. Yeah, the video shoot, to me that song was recorded. To me, it kind of sounds like it was recorded in a trash pile, and that's kind of what we were going for. Like, we wanted it to literally sound like we're banging on pots and pans when they were playing that song. And so we would do things like we'd put a microphone in like a air duct and record the drums through this air duct. So we got this really kind of messy recording. And in that sense, visually, it kind of reminded me of a lot of the 90s sci-fi movies, like the Ninja Turtles movies or the early Ghostbusters movies or Garbage Pail Kids. And we wanted to try and make a video that sort of emulated that idea when all the visual effects were done manually, I guess analog, in a way.
Auch bei den Produktionen der Musikvideos gibt es Unterschiede zu dem ersten Album. Im Vergleich zu den Erstlingen wurde bei den neueren Videos auch mehr Einfluss seitens der Band genommen.
I didn't really on the first album, not so much, because I guess I didn't really understand the process. So I just worked with directors, and they would make a video and we'd either approve it or disapprove it. But then with this new album, I've had a little bit more of a hand in the video making, like with the home video. I've worked with the directors more directly and talked to them about what we wanted to come across and what we wanted it to be like.
Eins steht fest: Austra ist eine Band, die sich rasant zu einer musikalischen Größe entwickelt hat und sich trotz dessen stets experimentell verändert. Ihr und wir dürfen also gespannt sein, wo die Reise noch hingeht.